Hi everybody, it's Kaycee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about how I opened my Etsy shop and what steps I kind of took to open that. And I hope you find this video informative and fun, kind of fun to watch. I love watching these kind of videos, so I thought maybe you would too. I'm going to have had my shop open for almost a year so far. I opened it in August of 2019. If you'd like me to do more Etsy videos, kind of behind the scenes kind of videos, you can give this video a thumbs up or let me know in the comments below, and then I'll kind of know what you guys want me to film. Before we get started on the steps I took to open the shop, I just want to let you know that I do have a background in graphic design. I started in high school and then I got a bachelor's degree. So I did have some knowledge of like design programs and paper printers, things like that already going into this. So if you aren't very familiar with all of that, it may be take a little more time for like the research step, because you'll have to familiarize yourself with more of the programs or just kind of what kind of printers there are and things like that. So just keep that in mind. It may take a little bit longer just depending on your background. And that leads me into my first point, which is step one, which is research. Now this may not seem like very fun, but hopefully if you're opening a sticker shop, then you enjoy making stickers, or you think you'll enjoy it and you enjoy designing things. So hopefully this will be a fun step. This will probably be the longest step. That was the longest for me. It's basically, I watched other Etsy shop owners. I watched their videos. I read some blogs. I looked at different kinds of papers, printers, like everything I would need to start up an Etsy shop. I just kind of did that before I bought anything, just so that I wasn't buying things that I didn't need, and I knew exactly how much it was going to take to start an Etsy shop. It's not super cheap. You have to buy some big equipment, and I did have some things, like obviously you kind of need a computer for the design software part of it. It's kind of going to be hard to do that on a tablet or a phone, so you need a computer. And I don't even know if you can print and cut from some of the other, like from smaller devices. So, I mean, a computer is one thing you need, but a lot of people have a computer. I don't have a desktop, but I have a laptop, so I use a laptop, and that works fine for me. I'll go over some of the supplies that I think you need to start a sticker shop. This is what I started with. This is a lot. This is kind of the majority of all the like big things that you will need to get started. The big equipment that you need are a computer, like I said, or a laptop, whatever kind of computer you want, printer, cutting machines with all the equipment that a cutting machine comes with. Usually if you buy a cutting machine, then it'll come with like a mat and a blade and all that, so you'll have everything to start up for the time being when you buy the initial equipment. And the cutting machines, there's two major brands. There's Silhouette and Cricut. I went with Silhouette. I went with a Silhouette Cameo, which seems really popular with sticker shops. There's also the Silhouette Portrait. I now have a Silhouette Portrait also, but I just started with the Cameo. And it's basically up to you to decide which one you want. The Portrait is cheaper and it seems to cut just as well, but it can't cut as big of things, and it's not digital, like it doesn't have a little digital screen on it or anything. So it just kind of depends what's more important to you, so that's part of the research, like what is best for you, because you'll find that every single sticker shop does things differently. Another thing, paper is kind of expensive, so you're going to want to choose a sticker paper and purchase quite a bit of sticker paper, because you're going to have to do a lot of testing. And you can also, so places like Online Labels or Sheet Labels, they will send you some sheets for free of their different types of labels. So you want to do that. Then that way you can see and feel the different types of paper and decide which one is right for you. There's some is like really bright white premium paper, some is removable. You have to pick if do you want to do glossy labels, matte labels, just kind of everything like that. What do you want? Clear labels, white labels. You can get samples of everything though. So just order some samples, they're free, it'll ship to you, and then you can that helps you kind of decide what kind of paper you want. You need things to mail your stickers in. A lot of people use cellophane bags and like cardboard rigid mailers. You can find those on Amazon. And then you also need like probably a desk or a table, just something to put everything that you're gonna have on. It does take a lot of space. For me personally, I actually have everything down in the basement. It's not an ideal situation, but it works for me right now. I have an old L-shaped desk that I use. I have like my printer on it. and my like cutting machine and everything. I actually have 2 printers, and one's like down underneath like under the desk, just because there's not a lot of room. But you kind of make do with what you can at first. You don't know how well things are going to go, so you don't want to put like a ton of money into it because it's already going to be expensive just buying some of the equipment that you need. The design software that you need is going to be probably come with your Cricut machine or Silhouette. If you do decide Silhouette, you can actually play around on the software before you get the machine. It's free online if you search like just Silhouette Design Studio software. It's free, so you can just download that. I actually did that before I got my machine just so I could get familiar with the program. Like I said, I had a background in design, so it was really familiar for me. Like I use the Adobe products, like Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop and all that. It was very similar to that, but just more basic. So it was pretty easy for me to grasp the design software for the cutting machine. If you think it might take you a little bit longer, or you want to familiarize yourself with that before you buy the machine, Silhouette's a good one to go check out, download the software, and just play around on it. You just can't cut, but you can design and do everything on it before you get the machine. One thing I also did, since I do planner stickers, I bought quite a few different size planners, and I measured the different sizes that the stickers should be, and so that I could practice cutting and then putting them in and see which size looks best with what planner. And one thing that I wasn't thinking of when I initially started, but something you should keep in mind, is that Etsy charges 20 cents per listing, and that's like before anybody buys anything. Once you open your shop, to put up a listing, it costs 20 cents, and you're probably going to be wanting to put up like maybe at least 30 listings or something. You need quite a few listings, or people aren't going to really want to buy from your shop, because if they can buy the similar stickers to your shop along with a bunch of other stickers that they need from another shop, they may go to another shop so they don't have to buy shipping like twice, and so they can just order once. So you want to have a good variety of stickers so that people have a lot to choose from. So it's going to cost a little bit to start up, but thankfully I got my first order within the first week, so I didn't have to pay for any of those listing fees. It was there was like a debit on my account for a little bit, but once I got that order, that covered the listing fees that I had to start up. But I'll talk a little bit more about starting up Etsy in the third step. So now we're on to the second step. The second step is I have a few things kind of lumped all into one thing. You have to kind of decide what you want to sell, like narrow it down, create your stickers and test your stickers, and just make sure you have everything you need, like buy everything you need. Make sure you have everything before you open your Etsy shop. You don't want to start with too many things, but like I said, you do want to have quite a few options so that people can buy more than just like one thing from your shop. The more stickers you have, the more chances that somebody's going to buy something from you. And make sure you're doing a lot of test runs before you start your shop. I had to do so many, like the sticker settings for all the different papers and everything. They're just different, and it seems to be different on every machine too. Like I looked up online kind of what some people do, and it's different from what I do on my, like for my, like the blade setting and everything. So you kind of have to test that and just do what works for you for your machine. So that kind of takes a little bit of time too, but you want to make sure you have everything right before you open it, just so that somebody doesn't order a sticker and then you realize like you don't have any and then something goes wrong. So that could be a problem. I do a lot of custom stickers, so I do some print to order. Anything that's custom, it's print to order, but I try to have other things on hand. When I first started, I didn't have too many things on hand because I wasn't sure what was going to sell. I wasn't sure if anything was going to sell, so I didn't want to print a whole bunch, but I had printed a test run of like all the stickers just to make sure that they printed nicely on the sheet, they cut nicely and everything like that. Okay, the third step is just open up the Etsy shop. I was not sure how this was going to go. I was just kind of like I had been thinking about opening an Etsy shop for a while because I've always wanted to do like my own business, like start my own business. And I was like, with a background in graphic design, that's like perfect for doing freelance or small business starting and things like that. So I just decided to go with it. And I was like, if this doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I'll just like have my I can make my own stickers and not sell it to other people. But like I said, I got my first sale within the first week, and that covered all my fees, and then I started getting more as each month went on. The first month though, so I didn't open at the beginning of last August. I opened like somewhere toward the like late middle or the end of the month. So I only had like 1 or 2 weeks left in August, and my first paycheck from Etsy turned out to be $5, which isn't much, but I wasn't paying them. Like I wasn't paying for my listings. So I was like, well, at least it's like covering my fees, and I didn't have to pay for listing all those stickers on Etsy. So I was kind of excited about that, but then thankfully I can't keep getting $5 a month, or it wouldn't really be worth it at all. So I did start getting, the next month I think I got about $35, and it just kept going up from there. And then by December I had more listings on there. I had expanded kind of my stickers, what I was doing. And it's the end of the year, so I think a lot of people were buying stickers and everything, and I ended up with like a $500 profit. So that was nice. It did go back down in January then, but I'm still like, it kind of, right now I'm holding steady, and it's been, like I said, almost a year. And I haven't really been putting any extra stickers on right now on my Etsy, except for like the monthly new stickers that I put up for like budget stickers every month, or the monthly layouts. But I want to keep expanding, and the more you expand, the more people want to buy stickers, because the more variety you have. And I do want to mention, first of all, that Etsy does take quite a few fees. They take, I think it's 5% from every order, something like that. So they take a percentage from every order just right off the bat from all the sale plus the shipping. So it doesn't matter how much both, they take that from both. They also take like a fixed fee of just for shipping. For some reason it's like 17 cents or something from each order, and then you have to pay for a shipping label on top of that. And you probably want to, all of the people that I have seen do it, and the way I do it is, you want to buy a label that has a tracking number on it, so that you can prove that you did send it. And then if somebody says they don't get it, then we kind of can try to find it at the post office instead of just sending something without a tracking number, and then you can't even prove that you sent it or anything, and then you're never going to be able to find it probably in the post office. The way I decided prices too, so when you're filling out opening your Etsy shop and everything, it was really easy actually opening the Etsy shop. It was kind of like self-explanatory. You need a name for your shop, but if you just go to Etsy, it'll say like it's very easy to open the shop. Like it's very step by step on how to open it. And you need a name for your shop, and then you upload your photos and your descriptions. And prices are a thing that you have to kind of decide, like how much are you charging for shipping? How much are you charging for each item? Like how much more than it costs? So you kind of have to know how much everything costs at first, like total up how much everything you do is costing, and then decide how much you want to sell the sticker for. You can do some research for other Etsy shops, kind of see comparatively like what they're selling, and like how much they're charging, and kind of like look at your stickers and kind of guess like, okay, how much should these be with regards to like how much do the paper cost, how much does ink cost, like everything you're putting into that. So along with that, also when you do buy things, keep track of everything. Keep track of all your expenses. Keep all your receipts and everything. Just for tax purposes, you need everything. So there's also, at the end of every month, Etsy gives you the transaction list. I always print that out and just keep it with it. I actually have a planner that I keep all my Etsy things with, and I just keep all the receipts and all the transactions and everything in there, so it's all in one. So when it comes tax time, I have everything in one place. Or you can just keep it in a big envelope or something. It doesn't really matter. Just keep everything. All right, I hope that helped you. I know this was kind of a big basic overview. Like I said, if you want to know more, I can get more descriptive if you're more interested in this. Just leave me a comment below and I'll try to answer your questions. If you'd like to see more how I design or how I do behind the scenes or anything, I can do those. Just let me know that you're interested. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!